Uh,
Hi.
Hello, Alicia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Um, yeah, let's jump in. You ready?
What was that?
I said, let's jump in. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right. So before we get into your book, I want to take a moment and like how we started collaborating and talking. I know we
Mhm.
were IG friends. I don't even know how that happened.
I don't either. I was actually thinking about it before this. Like, did I friend request her? Did she friend request me? I don't know. Because there was a point in time where I was just friend requesting everyone.
That
So probably was me, and then you followed me back. But over like the course of the last year, we just engaged with each other and then built an online friendship.
that. And so
I'm
this is
here
the
for it.
I am too. First time we've met in person. Um, and I also want to say there's like a quote that I was thinking about when I was thinking about us meeting. It says, "When you share your gift, you inspire others to share theirs." So,
Mm.
like, as we were friends and like following your journey, and then seeing that you became an author of your own book, it kind of inspired me because I've always loved talking to people about what they're doing in their lives, what inspired them. And so I was like, I want to interview this person.
I love
And
it. I
so I
love it.
reached out to you. What was going through your mind, I guess, when I first messaged you about that?
Honestly, so I think it started with you were inquiring about the process on the book, right? And then when I said I absolutely will share how I did it. And then you were saying, "Do you mind if we do an interview?" It was literally like a manifestation in the process. And I'm like, "Absolutely, like let's do it because this is the plan, right? This is the plan for me. Like I'm gonna have to align with wherever I'm going. So this one interview is preparing me for the next. I feel like everything is preparation for wherever we're going. So that's why I was excited. I was like, yes, absolutely, let's do it.
Yes, I'm glad you said yes.
I'm glad
So
you asked.
that part. So I guess just jumping in, introduce your book, Still Here, what
Okay,
inspired you, what it's about.
sure. So still here. We have one here. Still
Yes.
here. Like, look what I made. Oh no, let me show you an actual one. I'm sorry. One without the resale. That's the book there. The name of it is still here. It is a collection of poetry, affirmations, survival notes, and inspirational quotes. Um, if it's read by the reader how it's intended to be read from the very first page to the last, it does tell a story within all of the poems, affirmations, survival notes. It takes you on a journey of being lost, found, and then here. The lost section is like a broken space, trauma, whatever someone might be feeling when they're lost. And then the found pieces bring you more into like mending that brokenness, being present with yourself, facing yourself, finding your way back to yourself. And then the here pieces are after the storm, rebuilding after the storm, deciding to stay, how you stay, putting one foot in front of the other, and just being here. So
Oh
that's the
wow.
book. Yeah.
That end part
It's
sounds about being present. Yeah.
yes.
Would you say that?
Yes. You have to be so present when actively choosing to participate in your life, when actively choosing to heal, when actively being you just present. Being present was something I prayed for a long time, like years. I just want to be present. I don't want to catch myself after the fact. I want to be so present that I'm here when it's happening. And that's where the here pieces come in. So
I love that.
yeah.
Um, do you remember specific moments thinking, because I know from following you on social media, it was journals, correct? Did you
So
remember when you wanted to make it into a book, or tell me more?
I love that you were paying attention too. Like, um, so there wasn't a specific moment where it came into like this is the book.
Okay.
More so, it was revealed to me. So if I may, I've always been a writer. I've been writing since I was like 8 years old, mostly poetry as an escape or a release or anything like that. But I
Mhm.
also write short stories. I have a few novels in the works. I've been all over the place over the years. But when I was still in my marriage, I had started a novel and I just wasn't ever disciplined enough to stick to it. Life was chaotic. I was always doing something, so I wasn't disciplined. So when I left my marriage, I made a promise to myself, like, I will make time for this book. So
Mm,
I made time for the book. Like, I was scheduled, I had an alarm on my phone, at least 30 minutes a day. Like, if you really want something, you got to make time and you got to be disciplined with that time. I read a book called No Excuses on discipline, because I discipline is also something I prayed for a lot. Um, but I digress. So here I am in survival mode, full survival mode, but making sure I stick to the discipline on that book. I wasn't writing poetry, I was barely journaling, but I made time for the book. So during all that time, something happened in my life that really shattered me to pieces, and I was not okay. I was crying at random times, like it just was bad. So one day I was in my room and I just fell to my knees, like, God, what is this? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I thought I had life figured out. I thought I had forever. I thought everything would be okay, and it's not. So here I am. And as I'm on the ground, I look over into the corner of my room, and there's just a bunch of like random stuff. Because when I moved into this apartment, I didn't have space for a lot of stuff. So there was random stuff in the corner. And I saw
mm.
all my journals over there. So I just pulled them out. Out of nowhere, just pulled them out. I'm going through them. And as I'm reading them, I hear a voice inside that says, "This is the work." I said, "Okay, God, I'm here with you. I'm present. Like, show me what you need me to see." So I'm reading through them.
I got
And
goosebumps.
yeah, so it's like everything is, I believe in divine timing. I believe in, everything being aligned. And I'm just there completely distraught, reading them. And I'm flipping through and I see on one of the pages an idea I had, who knows when, right? It just said, because I would always get ideas as being a writer, like, oh, this would be something great. This would be something great. So on the page, it was a book that I had thought of to call it Home, and trail it through Lost, Found, in Here, and finding your way back to yourself. That's why it was going to be called Home. So I'm following that. And then over time, it became more of it. Like the book realistically built itself, because that was actually about a year and a half ago. That was last February. And it's not like I just opened up the book and was like, okay, this is the work, I'm gonna do it, and everything was just good. No, that heartbreak was still real. That heartbreak was still there. I was still crying at random, praying, trying to figure it out. But I kept going back to my journals, finding pieces, figuring it out. Like, okay, I can make something of this. And what did God mean by this is the work? So I wanted to dig more into that, because we'll go into that more later. But
Okay.
I digress.
No, I like that. So you said you've always been a journaler.
Hmm.
You felt like divinely called, I guess, in that moment
Yeah.
to reach those journals.
Yeah. Well,
And the,
so some of them, I've always kept all of my journals, all of my poetry notebooks, like, and I'm very organized in the sense of like, one is for journals, one is for, and I'm just going through reading old journal entries. But when I got to the poetry pieces, that's when I said, oh, okay, maybe this is what it is. Maybe we circle back to that. So long and behold, I did not finish the novel. I did not stay disciplined, but I followed whatever voice was in my head telling me to go that way. Because sometimes we think we have it figured out and there are different plans.
all the time. So you were
Yeah.
saying that the book was supposed to be called Home. So how did
Hmm.
you land on Still Here? What does that phrase mean to you?
So, still here is a testament to me still being here. Like, if I could share with you how many times I wanted to end my life, which I do talk about suicide on my social platforms, which that took a lot for me to even come forward on. But I think so many of us are scared to talk about it, and it needs to be talked about, because suicidal thoughts are real, depression is real, things like that. So it's really just a testament to me still being here after everything that tried to break me and everything that was sent to break me. It didn't. I'm here, and can't nobody take that from me. I am right here where I'm supposed to be. And there's more detail on why the Still Here title hits the way it hits. Someone I loved very much with all of my entire being used my mental health against me, and would, suggest things. And I have something coming in the works for that to reveal why the title means so much more. So there's a revelation ahead.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
here for
Yeah.
it. Okay,
So,
so next, walk us through how you put it to, I think you already touched on that, how you put it
yeah.
together, if you wrote it all at once. I guess from the journal entries, from the time that you heard that voice, right?
Mhm.
In you, and to the time that you started writing the book. Did you add on to those pieces? Because I know you said it's in three different sections. So
Yep.
tell me a little
So
more about
a lot of the lost pieces were written while I was in the beginning of an end. Like when I decided my marriage needed to be over, a lot of those pieces were my release, my escape, and things like that. So once the reader starts reading the lost pieces, you'll see like I start with mental health and, you know, I'm telling my story ultimately, but through poetry and affirmations, and it's a beautiful. I'm just so proud. Side note, but I did as a writer, I did continue to write. A lot of the found pieces were written last year, like after I started to write again. So not only did I hear the voice say like this is the work, it also in like I picked up my what could help me, what has always helped me in the middle of a storm, because I wasn't thinking writing. Like, you have to understand, I left a marriage. I moved into this apartment, just me and my daughter, started completely over in life. So that's survival mode. I didn't have time to do the one thing that could save me or has always saved me. But because in that moment I picked them up, I started writing again. So a lot of my found pieces are from that, and the here ones as well. But also some of them, because I started my healing journey years ago. Like I want to say at least 7 or 8 years ago. Wasn't able to tap in as much as I have been able to now, but I found things that work. So a lot of pieces were affirmations and things like that. So I did, to answer your question, continue writing. And there are new pieces, there are old pieces. They're all part of the plan, part of the process.
it. Okay. Awesome. I know you talked about your daughter. Um,
Hmm.
tell me a little bit about how I love seeing her when you post her.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit more about how she played an influence in the book. Um,
girl.
how that
So
happened.
her name is Aaliyah. She is my greatest inspiration. My great, like, I always tell her, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And she's like, "You're already grown." And I'm like, no, you don't understand. She just inspires me to be better. The moment I found out I was going to be her mom, I literally tapped in, like, oh, I need to change not everything about myself because I am who I am, but it's time to get it in order. I'm going to be somebody's mom. So I've been tapping in ever since. How she came about with the book, I had been
Mhm.
working on it. She knows I've been working on it. I have included her in the entire process. I would ask her questions like, what do you think about this? Do you think this one should be in it? Like, she's there in the thick of it with me. She's always been an artist, always. And I've saved a lot of her pieces. And not just like, every kid loves to draw, but she's really good at it. And she can like look at something and just sketch that out on the paper. No tracing, just freehand. So I had an idea, I told you the book is broken down into the three sections. So there's a blank page for each section to transition. So I thought I should put like some type of artwork in there. Like, why not? That would be beautiful. So I called her in my room and I said, I have a proposition for you. So I told
A
her what
big
I was
proposition.
thinking. Yeah, no, so I told her what I was thinking. I told her, I said, I will pay you for your time for, sketching out a few pieces for me. I told her what I wanted, the images I had, but I also wanted to see her artistic take on it. So I didn't give her too much detail, but I said, I want like something broken for lost, and such and such. So I don't want to go into too much detail because she's very adamant that people have to buy the book and see the pieces to understand. And I said, I hear you, sis, I hear you.
I
So
saw the post when y'all were
yeah,
doing the little
yeah,
peekaboo. I was waiting for it, but
oh,
yes.
I thought she was really gonna show it. That's why I was like, no, we had already decided no. But so she goes in her room and she comes back in and she has the sketches, and I loved the first two. I did not like the last one. And I feel like you always have to be honest with kids. People lie to kids way too much. I'm not here. I will spare your feelings if I can, but listen, I don't like that, and I'm paying you. So this is how the real world works. So she went back in her room and she sketched something else out. Comes back, I said, no, I still don't love it. You got to do better. Then she comes in, and the final one that she did, it's actually my favorite piece. Hers is the one for Found, but mine for Here is my favorite piece of hers. And I told her, I said, you will get royalties for every sale. Now that you're part of the book, I will put you in the copyright. And like she's asking questions. Obviously, she doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. I said, that means you get paid every time a
You
book
get money.
sells. And she said, oh, clock it. These kids. But she's
Yeah,
been an entrepreneur since I don't even know. She's been coming up with LLC ideas since she was like 3. So as soon as she heard paid, let's go. She
right,
wants to be at book signing, and all that. She's ready.
right. And it just goes back to that quote I said in the beginning. Like once you put your talents and gifts out there, like
Mm-hmm.
other people will be inspired by it and like join you on their journey and do their own thing. So
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's like that's literally the whole point. I think Nipsey Hussle's the one that said that. Like the greatest thing you can do is inspire,
Ooh,
and
wait,
that is the point. Like, what was that?
you froze. Repeat that
I
last.
froze.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You said the last thing I heard was you said Nipsey Hustle.
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle is the one who said the greatest human act is to inspire. And ever since I heard that, I said, you know what? That is literally it. Like the whole point of life, I think, is love. But through love, we have art. Through love, we have everything, music. Like love is the driving force, right? But through all of that, you are inspired to maybe love more, to create, to do anything. Like I really think inspiration is the point. So I'm here
Agree.
for it.
Tell me a little bit more. I know we didn't have these in our questions, but tell me a little bit more because the the book seems, I know there's like a heaviness to it before it gets light, right? That journey.
There is.
Tell me how much you shared with your daughter. What did that look like? Because I know that's for any parent
Yeah.
to let them into your inner world and what you're dealing with as a parent. Tell me what that process was looking like. How do you navigate that with her?
So I don't really go too deep into context with suicidal thoughts or anything like that. Um, I don't think I've ever talked about me experiencing them.
Mhm.
She does know like mental health is a thing with me. I also struggle with PMDD. If anybody doesn't know about that, you might want to look into it. Could be something you have and might be helpful.
Yeah.
But it that mixed with everything else like bipolarness, it's a hell of a ride, and my daughter is right there alongside of me. Like she's my best friend, but she also is the one taking on all of this, so I have to be super mindful about the highs and the lows. And she's older now, she's 10, so she'll even say something like, are you about to get your period? Like, like simple things, because she can tell there's something going on, you're not right.
Yeah.
But um as far as she did open the book, there is one piece in there that's referring to my love with her father, and he inspired a lot of this work.
Mhm.
And it starts with evil man, destroyer of all things. And she's like, is this about my dad? And I said, yes, but it's also about my dad. It's also about any man who's ever been that to someone. It's bigger than that. And I don't want you to like, I always have to explain to her it's she lived through it with me. You know what I mean? She lived through the chaos. She, like I said, my greatest inspiration. She's the reason why I finally put belt to ass and decided it's time to go.
Yeah.
She's the one who came to me. I won't go into that. Either way, um, I lost my train of thought. I apologize.
No, you're all good. You were
She,
saying,
go
go ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
You were saying that you don't share too much of like
The
the
suicide. Okay, okay. So I don't go
idea.
into detail because I think kids they take all, and I don't. I am very mindful of the fact that if mental illness is in my blood and it's in her dad's blood, it's in her blood too, right? Like there's a possibility. So I don't sugarcoat it. We talk about mental health and how if there's ever anything wrong, like let's sit and talk about it. There are ways and things like that. But I don't go into she could read it one day and see. This is my mom. But I think at this point in her life, she understands me more than anything to know that I'm far beyond that. Not that mental health and suicidal thoughts just disappear overnight. I just have ways to help me be present and want to stick around more. You know what I mean? Whereas before you could find yourself in a very low and fighting for your life to get out of that. So
For sure.
yeah.
Kudos to you as a parent. I feel like, I'm in
Mhm.
education, work with kids a lot. I don't feel like a lot of parents are having those conversations with their kids about mental health and what that is. So
It is
kudos.
so necessary. I actually have a piece. I actually don't even mind sharing it with you here if you'd like.
Yes.
It's part of the law section, but it's more towards the end because, as I said, the story tells itself.
Okay.
But it is called Why I Stay. Actually, no, that's not the name of that one. It's called What Keeps Me Here.
Okay.
Um, and it reads, last
Ooh,
night,
go ahead. Go ahead.
let's
I'm excited. All right.
last night I thought of all the different types of ways to end my life. Then came visions of you, full of sorrow, grief, anger, and pain. That's when it dawned on me. If I were to end my life, ultimately I'd be ending yours too. So, yeah. So she can read it. And right on the other side is one that does talk about suicide. So
Mhm.
my daughter could read this any day and know that her mom did have some mental health battles, and she will also know that she fought like hell to stick around, especially for her. Like she's my driving force. So
Shows
yeah.
resilience. I love
Yeah.
that. Was there anything about your book, because it was a private moments that you've had, right? We
Mhm.
know, all of us know that our notes app or our journals are things that are so sacred, right?
Yeah.
And Erica Badu talks about, like, what's that quote about? I'm sensitive about my shit. Like I'm an
Yes, yeah.
artist.
I've even said that in one of my videos. Like, listen, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. And it's deeper. Like, I don't know. Let me let you finish because you have a
That
question.
how did it go? What was that process for you, or what was the hardest part about bringing something so private and close to you to the public and wanting to share that?
The hardest part, in all honesty, was the fact that so I'm telling my truth ultimately here, right? I
Right.
encourage everyone to tell their truth. And the hardest part is that your truth is going to reveal things about other people that the world may not know, and it's going to paint a different picture. So for me, I have had a history, a long history of people I love being very harmful to me. And I
Mhm.
love you. I love you deep within my entire being. I would never do anything to hurt you. So I have protected these people by not speaking up, right? While
Right.
also, I guess, ultimately telling myself that I'm not worth the protection because these people were supposed to be protecting me. But I've
Mhm.
done everything I can to protect you, but you weren't keeping me safe. So the hardest part was knowing and understanding I am telling my truth, and it's going to reveal to people who probably didn't see someone that way that that's how they are. And it doesn't really go too far into detail, but it's enough to know you're not that was the hardest part, sharing the pieces of me that were harmed and broken and revealing maybe that this person is the one who did it. Speaking my truth reveals things. And it
Yeah.
took me a long time. Like this book was so long overdue, so long overdue. But I believe in divine timing, and even just looking back on my memories, like Snapchat, Instagram, they give you memories last year during this time. Looking at where I was last year during this time to where I am now, I literally needed to go through all of that and then release the book. I even have a piece in the here section that I just wrote like last month. And then that needed to live in there so that somebody can hear those words. You know what I mean? So the hardest part was I kept thinking like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't want them to, I would never do anything to hurt people I love. And ultimately telling your truth could possibly hurt them. So
Yeah. Well, sometimes it needs to speak. It needs to be said.
I agree. I'm
Hold
here. I'm doing it. I've been putting stuff
that.
out on social media. And the trickiest part about telling your truth is that it leaves room for other people to fill in gaps. Because like I said, I'm not going too far into detail. I'm a very private person. I'll reveal what I reveal, but to tell a whole story, I'll keep pieces out to spare people or just because it's my business and it's not yours. But
Mhm.
with me putting my stuff out there have been people in our hometown that know, like, say, my ex husband or my father, and they're coming up with their whole own stories. And when they see him, they're saying things. And it's just, I'm sorry that that's your experience, but no one walking this earth can say that they heard that from me. People will do what they do. I'm just speaking my truth. You know what I mean?
If you
So,
got a problem with it,
hey,
I
hey, all I know is that I'm still here.
that. Take it up with your God. That's what I say.
Exactly. And let's have the emphasis to play on words. I'm still here. And that's that. I
That
don't know what else to tell you.
I love that.
So,
Okay, so and I just want to touch on this too. I know um a lot of people, the conversations I have with friends, right, are being so scared to make a platform, to put
mhm.
themselves out there, being private people, being from small towns, things like that. The influence of what would people say,
And if
things
you're
like
raised like in a minority family, or
that.
I don't like that word minority, but that's neither here nor there. If you're raised in certain
Black and
households,
brown community.
our business is our business. What happens in this house stays in this house. That is embedded in your brain. And then, here we are in 2026 where everybody's telling their truth because we
Mhm.
should. It builds community, it changes lives. You never know who needs to see what you've been through and what you've overcome. So you're
Right.
absolutely right. How was that the question? I interrupted. I'm so sorry.
No, the how. Like, what would you say to somebody who is sitting on something, somebody who is afraid to show up and be perceived? Like,
I would say do it. Just do it. Whether you like tell your truth, even if your voice shakes while telling it, tell it. I went last year I did a spoken word piece in front of a live audience. First time ever. I was trembling all over. And even when I got up there, I said, please bear with me. Y'all, this is my first time. I am so nervous. And then I mentioned like telling my truth. And I wasn't the only person. Like a few people who came after me were saying like same thing, telling your truth is hard. And then at the end, the host had mentioned exactly what I've said a couple of times here. Tell your truth. It's going to paint somebody as the bad guy or the monster, but it's your truth to tell. It doesn't, you can't control how people perceive what that person is. And they may have been a monster in your story, even if you don't want to see them like that, but still tell your truth. So I would tell anybody, I would encourage anybody to tell their truth and to just keep going, like to face whatever it is. There's light on the other side of that darkness. You just really have to get there. You have to like one foot in front of the other. You got to try. Like,
yeah,
that's it. Like Aaliyah said, dust yourself off and try again.
that part. Nike, just do it. I like
Right, right. That's it.
that.
It's your life. You get this one. Like you literally get this one life. That was the biggest thing for me on this entire journey, like realizing that I get to choose. Like at any point in time, I get to, and I advocate this to people on a regular basis. This
Mhm.
is your life. What do you want to do with it? You don't like that job? You don't have to work there. Come up with a plan, pivot and adjust, but choose. Don't let anybody else choose for you. I think as someone who was controlled for a majority of her life, it was like embedded that I didn't have choice. But I
Mhm.
absolutely do. And as soon as you start feeling like I don't like that for me anymore, I don't want that for me anymore, drawing board, hit it and just stick to the plan.
I love
And
that.
so that's my theory.
Okay. I love that. Let's see. If someone purchases your book, what do you want them to feel by the last page?
Inspired for sure. Like we
Mm,
keep talking about, that inspiration is a real thing. Inspired in any way, shape, or form, even if it's something small like, okay, mental health, let me start speaking up about my bad days. Like inspired to have the courage to do it. Or like you said, there might be somebody who's scared to put a platform out there and start getting going, inspired to do it. Like I mentioned this on social media, I believe. It's more about community for me. So to build community, like I think that's where the inspiration comes in. People want to talk. You're like you are amongst several who have been in my inbox since and just asking questions, and I love that. And I've been telling everybody since you asked about the interview, I said I have something coming that I think will be great. And I'm also down. Like let's if you're local, let's meet in the park. Let's sit and everybody have it. Like let's have group sessions. Like I think it, like they say, it takes a village. Like let's all heal together. You never know.
Yes.
I really just want to inspire people to heal, change, take up space, love themselves, broken or not, and to
Mhm.
keep going, to really just keep going.
And I feel like we need that now. I feel like in this capitalistic society, everybody's like individualistic and,
I
you
think that
know,
was the goal. They do what they were doing. It's like
oh yeah,
singling everybody out when no, we need to come together.
for sure. So I love that piece about community.
Hmm.
Why we align for sure. I'm glad
Yeah,
we did.
look at it. Here we
Right.
go. I can't wait to see where this all goes, realistically. Like two strangers on the internet. And I talked to my brother about this. It's like my healing journey, I think everybody had to go. Like Lauren Hills and her I Get Out song. She says, if
Yeah.
everything must go, then go. That's how I choose to live. And that repeats every time I feel like I have to let someone go. There are people I love deep in my soul, and I will always love you. You're just, I don't think you're going where I'm going. You know what I mean? And if you're meant to be, maybe we'll circle back. But I think in losing, so-called losing, I don't think it was a loss, but in losing friends and family members and things, you feel very much alone. But I think that isolation was necessary. But I have
Mhm.
so many newfound friends on the internet. There are strangers out there that want to know you and want to befriend you. And here we are, two people who just met online having a conversation. And I love that for us. I want more of that for us in every way possible.
I feel that. I feel the alignment for sure. And then I think even in you sharing your story, being vulnerable, it will happen because this is a testament of it, you know? So more
I
to
was
come. I
so
can't wait.
nervous. I was so nervous. I was like, okay, oh no, let's do it. And here
Same.
we are.
That.
So,
Okay, so I know you were able to read one poem that you shared
mhm.
with us. Is there one that you want people to go back to again and again? Like a
So
specific nation or poem?
yeah, there, I mean, if I would probably pick one from each because you never know where people are on their own journey.
Mm,
But one specific one that I think someone should hold on to is one called Worth It.
okay.
Um, That one is, it goes, one day you'll wake up and it will come to you, the realization that you're living in answered prayers. When that moment comes, promise me you'll keep going. Promise me you'll keep doing the work. Remember your strength. Remember your power. Release everything that no longer fits. Never stop facing yourself. Remind yourself the journey isn't perfect, but it's yours. And then on the bottom, I have a gentle reminder to the reader. This is your life, your story. It only has to make sense to you. Your timing, your pace. Keep going. It will be worth it. And I just want people to understand.
Were they doing poetry spaces?
Yeah, that's it. And it's like it's an exhale for me, but it's also something for the person holding this and reading it. Like
Mm,
I don't know what you're going through. I've been through some things, but I have had people in my life who have been through far worse. That
mm,
doesn't take away from my pain and it doesn't take away from theirs. I think a lot of times people are saying to themselves, like, it's not that bad. Somebody else has it so much worse. It's if it's that bad to you, then it's that bad to you. Sit with it, figure out what you can do with yourself, how you can help yourself. Don't downplay your pain because it's not as bad as this one's. That's not real. Darkness, it comes for us all, like it's part of the journey. So
yeah.
that's my message. That's one that I would hope someone holds on to, just like Keep going. You
Hmm.
got it. You got it. It's
I
gonna
love
hurt like hell. It hurts like hell, but there is light on the other side. You just got to get there.
that. Tell me about it. So it looks like your point of view. This was personal to you, but you also, it looks like, wanted to speak to others
Mhm.
as well from it.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
why I say that voice a year and a half ago that said this is the work, I think that's where all of the alignment came. There's so much more that is going to come from this one release. Like I feel like this is just the stepping stone. One of my favorites, Rumi, he says, as you step on the path, the rest of the path appears. This is just me stepping onto the path. So I have ideas of what the future will look like and things that I can't wait to experience them. And at the same time, I can. I took my time with this one because I needed to. So I'll take my time with whatever comes next.
Yeah.
But yes, the point is, I think, like we keep mentioning, me telling my truth is the inspiration that somebody may need to tell theirs, to face themselves, to just try something different, etc.
Yeah. And I believe in collective healing too. What
Hmm.
heals us isn't sometimes never just for us. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I have a lot of friends, or like a lot of past friends, that would experience things, and I would just like pray for them or like give advice that I
Mhm.
think made sense. But I feel like, you got to be careful who you take advice from too. Like you can't take advice from a single person who's never been married on your marriage. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful with things like that. Although there are some who just come equipped with knowledge, like they've been here before or something. But um yep, lost my train of thought again. That happens.
You're
So yeah,
good.
I really think I have ADD in this big age.
Listen, tap me in and I got you. I'll finish it
Okay.
out. Um,
Okay.
so then when we talk about like collective hearing or collective healing, um, what would you say to someone who's in the middle of their like still here moment? Someone is going through that.
I'm gonna say it again and again until I can't. Like I just can't stress it enough. Keep going. Keep going. Like just try. I had so I wrote this book, but I do have a day job, and I had someone, he was an older man, come in, excuse me, and he was very depressed, but you could tell, like, as soon as I went downstairs to meet with him, you could see it on him. Sometimes you could see it and sometimes you can't. I am a smiling face 9 times out of 10. You would never know that I've struggled with mental health or suicidal thoughts or anything like that. You can't tell that by looking at me, but you could see it on this man. And once we started talking, he even started crying and saying how he doesn't want to live anymore. And like I said, always in the right place. I feel like I'm always right where I'm supposed to be. So I pulled him into a private room and I sat with him and I just listened to him for a little while. But then I told him, and I say this very often to people, there has to be something. There's got to be some little piece of something like in your life worth holding on to. And whatever that is, the smallest thing, grab it and don't ever let go. And just try to figure out how to bring more good into your life. We get
Yeah.
so caught up in the negative. It's so easy to be like, this happened, this happened, this happened, and bring more of that in. So ask yourself, like, what good happened today? Even if it was a smile from a stranger or something small, like, just keep trying to be more positive, I guess, which is
Yeah.
kind of cliche, but that's really what, there are small things that bring the light back in. You know what I mean? Forgiving someone that maybe you thought you never could, forgiving yourself, smiling at someone, holding a door. Like little things can become so big if you just choose to see it. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is for me. That's what I would tell anyone. I have active people in my life right now who are really going through it, and I've been trying to talk them off of a ledge with these same exact words that I'm sharing with you. And I just think it's really about seeing the small little things that are okay in your life, trying to hold on to something.
And sometimes if it's one, just hold
If
on
it's
to it
just
as long as you can till you can
right,
find something else. Yeah.
right. There were
I love
some days like my daughter, like, cause she's my one, you know what I mean? I have so many now, but throughout a lot of times over the last year and a half, she was my one. And there would be days where she's like really giving me a run for my money, making me feel like, what is this? And I'm like, the one thing I'm holding on to. I'm out of here. Oh my gosh. Not saying it out loud, but the thoughts, they do what they do.
oh,
And
this
anyone who
too.
struggles with mental health knows, like, sometimes, whew, yeah, you got to be bigger than the brain. There's a quote that says, life is 10% what happens and 90% how you react to it. So,
Right.
it can be so small, something so small. It only becomes so big when we make it so big, when we repeat that this happened and we give attitude to the next person, or if they like, just be present enough. It goes back to that present thing. Be present enough to realize the negativity coming out of your mouth, or little things. Little things of gratitude and joy can really become big things.
Yeah. I
So,
love
if anybody's in their moment of despair, I would say try to find some joy, try to find some gratitude for anything and everything, and just do your best to keep going.
I love it. And I think one other thing that I see a lot on your social media that I think resonated with is like nature, right?
Mm.
Like go outside, touch grass, get out the
That is
house.
it. That is it. Like, literally, oh, get off the couch, get
Yeah,
out, get moving. They keep saying depression hates a moving body. Do something, anything that makes you connected back with life. Anything. Nature has been my best friend. I love it. Like, I'm so at peace in nature, so at peace. You got to make time to just be one with something, the ground, the sand, the water, something that God created on this beautiful earth. Get
I
off
agree.
that damn phone is what I will tell anyone. I can't stand that phone. I want to
You sound
throw
like a
that phone
parent.
out of I
Get the
well, I
phone.
am a parent, but I tell this to grown people. Get off
Yes,
that phone. The worst thing they could have did was create these damn, like, we are always on the phone.
right.
And now that I'm on it so much with everything here, because you want to be constant. And I've even made videos about this. Like, I can't stand social media, but I need to be on there. It's great marketing. It's great, whatever. But I think the other day I was like, nope, I'm not doing it through the phone. I'm not doing it. I can't. I need to go read or sit in the grass or something. It's all about balance.
I was just gonna say that. I think I love social media for that aspect, but I think we know. I think listening to your body and
Hmm.
when it's time, when you're like
Yes.
doom scrolling and when you're actually being inspired by your
Right.
page and your
Right.
content. So
Yeah, I think I made a post about that too. Like, I love everything I follow now. Like, it's either funny or inspirational. I don't want to, my algorithm is so in tune with me that I'm okay here. Like, I don't want to see nothing negative at all on my news feed,
you're
because
super
that's how you get caught up. What was that?
you're super intentional with it.
Very, you have to be. You have to be intentional with everything in life. Everything.
I agree. Speaking of intentionality, what's next for you? Are you doing more writing, speaking? Where do you
Anything, everything is next. Everything. I'm so glad that you and I are here in this space. I can't wait to see what comes of this. Like, your interview process was so great, and I feel like you're going to be so great at whatever you do. Um, for me, the book is out on Tuesday. I can't believe it. It's literally, go get your copies, people. Um,
cue
yeah.
all the banners, all the
Yes, yes, yes. I'm on all social platforms at underscore still here dot journey. The link is in all the bios to find the book. But what's next is, I'm on the path. Remember, this book is me stepping on the path. We'll see what comes. I do have a plan. I have a solid plan, but I don't know if it's going to go according to plan. So we'll see what comes next. I want to encourage people, like I said, the keep going is really a big deal for me. So I think I might do something with that. But more writing for sure. I actually should probably circle back and finish that novel.
yeah.
I do. I do want to circle back. It's damn near done. I might as well. It's going to be so great. So
Like you said, one foot in front of the other.
that's
You got
it.
to, but sometimes you never know what comes up from you putting yourself out there. So I can't wait to see what's next.
Mhm.
I guess closing it up. Tell me more of. You told us your platform where we can
Mhm.
find you.
Mhm.
You have the book available in digital, print? How can people find it?
It will be available both in digital and print. Again, the links will be in the bio. For the most part, I did go with KDP. So I think you had also, before this was even a thing, you had asked about the process, and a few other people did too. So I had printed out. So when I found the notebooks, just if we'll dive into that for a second, found the notebooks. I'm going through the notebooks. There's so many pieces and it's chaotic. And I'm someone who needs order.
Mhm.
So I went into Word and I just typed up every piece on its own page. And then I printed all those out so I can see them. And then I came up with like found here, I found lost found in here, and I was going through them and like, oh, this section, that section, this section. A lot of the pieces didn't make it in because they just didn't tell the story that I was looking to tell.
Mhm.
Um, and then from there, I went back into Word, rearranged it, did the layout, set it all up for the sizing in the book. I had to do research on KDP and what they allow. It was a hell of a process, I might add. The hardest thing for me was page numbers. Page numbers stressed my entire life, so much so that I took a 2 month break from this book. I said, said
Hey, how about you?
well, yeah, because the way the book is laid out, it's not like it starts and then the pages just go. So it starts, there are you like say for instance the pages that my daughter's artwork is on isn't numbered. There are certain things that didn't need numbers. So if it was like a regular novel where every page after copyright is numbered, great. But for me, with all these section breaks, oh my gosh, I said I don't want to do it. I'm about to have to hire someone. And I said I could do it. I could do hard things. I had to start giving myself affirmations. It's fine. After my 2 month break, then I finally got back to
Oh,
it. And
wait,
after I came back,
pause. You broke up. There was like a huge gap.
jeez,
I
where were
know.
we?
I know you said talk about after you took a 2 month break or a month break.
Yeah, I took it to, I don't know. So I said that part twice. So I don't know if you heard the how like my daughter's artwork didn't need page numbers. Okay.
Start from
Did you hear
there.
that part?
I heard
Okay.
that part, but maybe the second time you said something different.
So no, I was just saying that like a regular novel is numbered from start to finish right after copyright, whereas mine with her artwork and certain like header pages, they didn't need numbers. So trying to figure that out really almost took me out. So I took my 2 month break, and by the time I came back to it, it was 1 + 1 = 2, and it worked. Like it was nothing. I just was probably stressed out at midnight after a long day. Like I'm a single mom. I work a full-time job. I'm putting this book to, I'm like there was a lot. So I was probably just tired and frustrated. It's fine. Um, why was I talking about that? There goes the ADD again. Oh, I love this for me because I'm going to, one thing about me, and even, we were talking about how this could lead to other things. I am
Yeah.
going to be myself no matter where I'm at. Like, you're just going to get unfiltered me. I don't know how to be anybody else. So yes, audience, whenever people watch, I think I have ADD. Don't judge me. We're talking about the page numbers. Oh, I was explaining the process because see, it always comes back though. People want
Yeah.
to know. Um, I know there are a lot of people who are boycotting Amazon, and I wasn't going to sell on there. I was just going to use them to um, create the book and then buy all the books and sell them myself. But that got complicated. Being an independent uh, seller is fun times. It was a
Oh,
lot. For those who want to know, it was a lot. So I had to have the Microsoft set up KDP. But now that I know it, I feel like I could do this in my sleep. I also went to school for like graphic design and I work with these type of softwares on a regular basis. So for me, it might be a lot but easy to whereas someone who probably has never touched any of this, it would probably be like absolutely not. So,
yeah.
but it wasn't
Okay.
bad.
And I think sometimes we need a break, right? Like
Mm,
writer's block is real.
real.
Creating, like put it down and then come back with
Yes.
new eyes. So
Yes, I love that part. I genuinely love. And with my journey, like I've been changing, so my pieces have been changing. in which I love and also don't love at the same time, because my best pieces came from pain, came from like that raw, like hurt. So I actually wrote a piece on how that version of me is dead, but I still visit her grave sometimes for work, you know? I still visit her grave sometimes for the art. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
So,
that's the artist life. If
yes,
you created anything, sometimes our best work comes from our
pain.
pain, for
Yeah.
sure.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, like even with music we listen to, like that's you love is real. Love is, like I said before, love is the driving force, but with love comes pain. So hopefully not always. I think in the future for me, I think it
Yeah.
all looks bright. I think, you know, I face my darkest days. So if I don't think any more dark days are coming, but life can like literally out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
if more dark days come, I know that I've done it before. I can do it again.
That that's the word.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. If someone's listening right now and needs to hear a sentence from you, what would you tell them, Alicia?
I'm thinking, I was going to ask you, what do you think I would tell them? Because I've said it so many times. My driving force.
Keep going.
That is it. Keep going. No, but if I could offer anything else,
Mhm.
it would really be like that there is light on the other side of that darkness. Like sometimes the darkness covers you, and you it's like a black cloud that's just walking with you and you can't do anything about it. It's just there. Especially like I know people who have lost children and or parents, like that type of loss hits different. So that's darkness that, you know, all the inspiration in the world can't talk you away from.
Right.
But I have tried to give inspiration in those type of instances and just saying like, you know, I have a different theory on death myself, so I try not to be what's the word I would use, condescending when talking about it. But I think like it's the only one guarantee we have, you know what I mean? Like it's what comes at the end of this movie. We don't know when, which is why we should really focus on living and
Mhm.
finding that light in the darkness and just trying to keep going. But it's coming for all of us and there's no way around it. But I hate that people have to experience it, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it would just be that to keep going and to try to find the light and then walk towards it. That tunnel can be long, very long. My tunnel was very long. I'm just coming out of it. And I look back with tears of joy. Like I cry tears of joy these days. And I love that for me because I think of how many days I cried painfully. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't wait to tell a little more on the Still Here title, but I guess everybody will have to wait and see.
I can't wait for that. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Hmm. No, I just really want to say thank you so much. Like, so much gratitude. This was like for holding space, for having conversation, for this in general. It was beautiful. And I am so glad you asked, and I'm so glad we're here. So, just gratitude.
I'm glad you
Is there
said
anything
yes.
you would like to add? Let me interview the interview.
No, I'm grateful for the space. You never know when you approach somebody with a question, how they're going to respond. So for you to be open enough for me, because this is my first time doing this, right?
Right,
So
right.
for us to share this moment, um,
Hmm.
for you to
I
say
can't wait to
yes.
look.
Say it again.
I said, can't wait to look back on it one day. Like wherever we go, and then we look back, like, remember when we were doing that here? You know what? Shout out to Microsoft Teams because social media doesn't want to let us be great because we're not big people yet. So we can't
It
do
can't go
live.
live. I
So
know.
Microsoft Teams is letting us record this. I don't know how it's gonna look once we finally get it out there, but still, shout out to Microsoft Teams because they came through for us. But wait till we look back. Right. Wait till we look back. Like, look at us, baby us.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see where it
So
goes and for you just to be open and share your story. I love meeting souls like you who are genuine and authentic in themselves. So, and I love
same.
women supporting women. The fact that we're
Yes.
strangers meeting
Yes.
and you're so open. I appreciate you. I can't wait to support you. Um,
Thank you.
you were like, life brings you, and I'll support it all the way through.
I love that for me. I'm so here for this. So here for this type of energy. Strangers on the internet. I have met, thank you. Thank you so much.
That for sure.
All right. I'm gonna stop the recording.